Okay, ladies and gentlemen, number 2 of the previews this weekend. It is the New York Jets on the road taking on the New England Patriots, a game I was wrong about last week. I did pick the Colts to beat the New York Jets. But the Jets, I got to tell you, got to give them credit. They slowed that game down. They made it picture perfect. They didn't do a great job in the passing game until the very end. They made a couple of plays when they needed to. Jim Caldwell called a stupid timeout that gave them another 30 seconds to drop a play. Mark Sanchez made a big play to Braylon Edwards, set up the game-winning field goal by Nick Folk. And as usual, the Jets are starting to talk again, and they're starting to yap like they've been doing all year. So now, and they're going to Foxborough where they lost 45-3 to the Patriots earlier in the year. They did beat the Patriots in the first meeting, 28-14, but that was early. I mean, way early in the season. So they've got to bounce back and try to get revenge this week. 3 keys to victory. First, let's start with the New York Jets. The first key for the Jets is shut up. Stop talking. Rex Ryan, Antonio Cromartie, zip it. Stop talking. Stop running your mouth about how you think Tom Brady is an ass, or about how, we don't get any respect, or it's all personal. You know what? At some point, the no respect card, the it's personal card, its statute of limitations run out, and that's exactly what's happened to you. And you are just setting yourself up for failure. If you don't think the Patriots are using that as bulletin board material to fire up their rookies or fire up guys that haven't been in the playoffs very much, and they've got a very young football team this year, they're going to use that against you. They are. Just ask Anthony Smith of the Pittsburgh Steelers a few years ago, and he said, we're going to knock off the Patriots' undefeated season. They didn't, and he was exposed right from the beginning. Tom Brady hit a big bomb to Randy Moss down the middle of the field. He went down there and let Anthony Smith know and got right in his face. You are not going to talk that kind of smack about my offense. And I guarantee you, Tom Brady's going to go after Antonio Cromartie for making the comments that he made earlier in the week. Antonio Cromartie, by the way, you got exposed. Pierre Garçon carved you up. Why are you running your mouth acting like you're some hot corner when you just got beat up last week against the Colts? You did have that kick return, but as a corner, you got a little bit exposed. Probably not a good idea for you to be talking smack against one of the best quarterbacks of all time. And Rex Ryan, the whole personal thing, you've used it once. Once is good. Okay? That's it. The second thing you got to do if you're the Jets, if you're going to win this game, you got to neutralize Vincent Wilfork. Vincent Wilfork is that big defensive tackle that goes right up the middle against opposing offensive lines. He's 330 pounds, I believe. And if the Jets are going to run the football, control the clock like they did against the Colts last week, they're going to have to neutralize him. He is the key to that 3-4 defense in a lot of ways because he gets up the field, causes a couple of gaps to be taken up because you got to double team him. He's so big. And then it allows the other linebackers to flow and make plays. I think if you're going to stop the Patriots from stopping your running game, you've got to stop him. You got to neutralize him, prevent him from getting into the backfield quickly because he causes a lot of havoc up front for a lot of offensive lines. And that's going to be harder for the Jets to do because ESPN's Adam Schefter was reporting earlier today that Damian Woody, one of the Jets' offensive linemen, has now been placed on IR for the rest of the season. So that's a pretty difficult loss for the Jets to have to deal with because he's a big part of their offensive line and he was a big part last week. So now losing him for the rest of the year, that's going to hurt the Jets. Okay, the third thing they need to do is to drop 8 into coverage. Now normally they like to blitz. They like to go out there and try to put a lot of pressure on you, but they tried to blitz the Patriots a lot in that most recent loss of theirs, and guess what? It didn't work out so well. Tom Brady burned them. Danny Woodhead, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, Deion Branch, Wes Welker. It doesn't matter who Brady used. All those guys had a lot of trouble, the Jets, because they kept blitzing, and Brady kept beating them over the top. And if you watch what the Jets did last week against the Colts, they dropped 8 into coverage the whole time, and it made things a lot difficult for Peyton Manning, especially when the zone started to shrink when he got down in the red zone, forced the Colts to kick 3 field goals in the second half instead of having to score touchdowns. So dropping 8 into coverage worked a lot better against the Colts the second time around. I think it'll work better against the Patriots the second time around too if they don't try to take too many gambles, especially early in the game. Now if you're the Patriots, keys to victory. First one, come right out of the gate and just expose Antonio Cromartie. Don't even waste any time. He's been running his mouth. He got beat a lot last week. Make a statement early in the game if you're New England that we are not going to let Antonio Cromartie run his mouth and think that he's going to beat us. Go after him, because you know Darrelle Revis is going to shut down either Welker or Branch, whoever they match him up on. So whoever's on Cromartie, go out there and try to make a point to expose him right away. Brady did it against Anthony Smith a couple of years ago. He will do it against any cornerback that talks that kind of smack. And look what he did. Earlier in the year, Darrelle Revis was saying, Randy Moss, he's such a slouch. He can't be stopped. Oh, really? And that's when Brady threw a bomb and Randy Moss caught a one-handed pass against him and made him look stupid. So Tom Brady's going to be looking to make a statement against Antonio Cromartie. He did it against Darrelle Revis. He did it a few years ago against Anthony Smith. Look to expose and put that seed of doubt in Antonio Cromartie's mind early on in the game. Second thing you got to do if you're the Patriots, go no huddle. The New York Jets are not a very high-scoring offense. They're going to want to slow the game down, run the football, keep the time of possession in their favor, and keep Brady off the field and slow it down. The lower the score in this game, the better the Jets have a chance at winning this game. Speed the game up if you're the Patriots. Go no huddle. Use the tight ends, Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez, more on them in just a second, and try to get Deion Branch and Wes Welker into the flow of the game as well, and just speed the game up. Try to use Danny Woodhead. He was cut by the Jets before the season started as an undrafted free agent. He will undoubtedly be motivated. Use him in your no-huddle package. If you do that, you're going to give the Jets a lot of problems, because the Jets are going to want to sit there and slow it down on offense and on defense. So what you got to do on offense, use the no-huddle, speed them up, and get the Jets out of their rhythm and tempo. Third thing you got to do if you're the Patriots, use the tight ends in this game early and often. Look, Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez have had fantastic rookie years. Gronkowski had a great game against the Steelers earlier in the year. Aaron Hernandez has had a couple of big games for him. You need to just sit there and throw the ball over the middle of the field. And, you know, the Jets will blitz. They're not going to go 8 in coverage the whole game. They will blitz. So you need to find a way to use Aaron Hernandez and Gronkowski as your hot reads. These guys really know how to get vertical and get up the field. And they're rookies, so they haven't played in a playoff game before. And if you want to boost their confidence, hit them early and hit them often with your passes. If you're Tom Brady, get them some early touches early in the game. You'll get their confidence up. As for my prediction, I think the Patriots will win this game 31-14. I think the Jets are overmatched again. Unlike the Colts last week, who were down a lot of options, they didn't have Austin Collie, they didn't have Dallas Clark, they were depleted on offense. The Patriots are operating at full strength, and they don't have just 2 weapons. The Colts just had Wayne and Garcon. That's why their offense had a lot of problems scoring points. This week, though, the Patriots have Branch, they got Welker, they got Hernandez and Gronkowski, Green Ellis and Woodhead. A lot of options. Way too many people out there for the Jets to cover. I think the Patriots will win this game 31-14. The game will be a high-scoring game, which is what the Jets don't want to have happen. It's in New England, where the Patriots have been unstoppable at home, and I think the Jets are just a little bit overmatched, and I think their chit-chat is going to be at their downfall this week. Patriots 31, Jets 14, NFC previews coming up. I'm John Herrick. Thanks for watching.